Hi guys, so I'm in the middle of cleaning and I got something in the mail and it just sparked an idea in my head. So let me show you what I got in the mail. I don't order from Aliexpress. This was my absolute first order from them. I just did a little order because I was afraid. But they came in and I really like them. So I'll try and give you the link in the video. But they're just little wooden necklaces. So you've got a bezel made out of wood, and it's got a leather cord already on these and even knotted. So I thought that was a plus because I hate knotting necklaces. But this one's got, you know, a little design. This one's got a little bit of a different design, and then you've got some with hearts. So they have all kinds of different designs. But what I thought would be really cool is to put a cab right there in the middle. Unfortunately, I don't have any cabs, so that one was out. And when I sell at craft shows, you have to make your stuff. So I can't just take an already gemstone cab and throw it into that and call it good. Whatever you sell, it has to be something that you made. So I may not have made this, but I could make my own cab, right? So what color looks great with brown? To me, turquoise, orange, silver or gold, a little bit of brown to go with it. So I threw out a bunch of translucent clay, and I thought that I would just really quickly make a slab of something. I even designed a round cutter. I took the measurements from there, and I think it was like 26.99 millimeters. So I designed a cutter at that spec and thought, okay, let's give this a try. So on one of these I'm going to use metallic paint, and on the other pile I'm going to use just alcohol ink because it's going to give them both a really different look. And I didn't want the blue to be too dark against that brown. I wanted it to stand out a little bit, so that's why I'm adding a little bit of white. This is Artist Loft from Michaels. And this color is metallic cobalt blue, and then the other one is a metallic white. These are all metallic paints. I love the metallic paints just because of the fact that they stand out and they give you just that little bit of sparkle in it. So this isn't quite the turquoise that I wanted, so I'm going to add just a little bit more green, and we're going to see if that helps a little bit. I have a metallic leaf green, so I'm not sure how that's going to look, but I'm going to put a little bit of green here in the corner. And these are so old and they're starting to dry out all over the lids. Okay, so really quick, let me grab another thingamababa, and we're just going to add a little bit of green to that one. I just want to see if that's going to make it darker. It'll give me a little bit of a better color that I'm looking for. It may just work. So I'm just going to add a tad of green. I really don't need this much, but it's hard to get the color that I want. Okay, so gloves is essential, even though they're a pain in the butt to use. So I'm going to put at least a pair of gloves on one hand. And I hate getting these darn things on. I used to work in an emergency room and I had to wear gloves every single day. And I just hate them. I hate them with a passion. So we're just doing a very small batch. And I know I'm going to regret that when these are done. I'm going to tell myself you should have made more. But for now, just for an example, I'm not going to use that much. Okay, so we're going to do that with the blue. And now I need a brown, and I don't know how to make a brown. If I remember, it's purple and orange, I think, or purple and blue. So I'm going to try purple and orange, and I don't think I'm going to use this because I just don't have enough room. So let's try purple and orange and see what that gives us. This is, again, Artist Loft. These are all metallic colors. So this is a metallic purple. And I'm hoping I have a metallic orange. But if I don't, I will find another way to do this. How do you make orange, red, and yellow, right? So, oh, I found orange. Perfect. So this is a metallic orange. Yeah, I'm going to put that on there. I did say I wanted to use brown, didn't I? But I'm going to add a little bit of orange too. Maybe just a tad bit of orange. It's going to give it a real southwestern feel. Okay, so now let's see if we can add just a little bit of purple and orange to see if this even works. If not, I will pull out some orange and red. It's working. Actually working really well. Kind of liking that. Okay, a little bit more orange. Okay, I like those two colors together. Ugh. So now we're just gonna put all of that in there. Okay, so really didn't want that orange, but okay, so now let's make a little more. I think I need to coat that just a little more. And yeah, I'm just using my fingers. It just seems to be easier. Messier, but it's easier. Yeah, you don't have to make as much of a mess with me, but I gotta get back to cleaning. And I don't even know how I got so ADD where I just stopped what I was doing and ran in here to try this. So, okay, so there we go, browns. We don't have a whole lot of brown, and that's okay. Just a little bit for highlight. The blue's going to be the star in this. And then I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to add white to this one. And again, I'm not sure why I did one that was orange. That was not in my original plan, but because I said orange and blue look southwestern, I went ahead and added it in there. So this is what I did up here, is I'm just putting a little bit of white here. And that's just basically going to be a highlight. I'm trying to keep one hand clean so I can turn on the faucet. Okay, so we're going to leave that one there. So let me go wash my hands, and then I'm going to grab alcohol ink for the other one. Hold on. Okay, so I am back, and we're going to go ahead and coat these right here. So on these, I want a really nice turquoise. That's something that's kind of hard to find. And a brown. So, well, 1 container of alcohol inks. Haha, there's a turquoise. I have a caramel. Ooh, caramel would look good. So I'm going to do a caramel, a turquoise, and I'm going to do a white, if I can find a white. My other container. There we go. Okay, so let's see how pretty this caramel is. Actually, I just want a little bit of white, not a whole lot. Add a little more to the blue here. It's going to be messy as well. This is turquoise. And this we're going to do white. And I think the white is a Pinata alcohol ink, and it looks like I've got a little bit of a clogged nozzle. And I'm going to be afraid because I know that if I unclog it, I am probably going to let a huge stream out, which would not be good. There we go. Okay, and with the alcohol ink, as usual, you're going to have to work fast. This I'm definitely going to put gloves on because this stuff will stain your hands like crazy. So I'm going to do the blue first. And with this, I kind of cut it up a little bit. I really want it to stick. Okay, and then I'll wipe the hands a little bit. At least this stuff dries really fast. Okay, I'm going to do the same with the brown. I can already see this turning out really pretty. I think I want a little more brown, so I'm going to cut them in a little smaller pieces and get more of that translucent covered. Okay. Okay. And now do the same with the white. As you can see, I'm not really worried about cross-contamination with any of the other colors, because it's all going to mix up anyways. I just want a little bit of white to highlight. Yeah, the white's very sticky. As you can see, it's just sticking to everything. So, okay, so that's basically all I do. Now I'm going to finish cleaning the house, and that'll give me time for this to all dry up. And if it doesn't, we may just speed it along with a little bit of a blow dryer or something else to see if we can dry it a little faster. So, stay tuned. We'll be back to show you what we do with them. Talk to you soon. Bye. Alrighty, so we're back. Let's see what we got here. So this is the alcohol ink set, and this is the metallic acrylic paint. That's still wet, so we're just going to leave that alone, and hopefully it'll be done by the time we're done with this. Okay, so see if I can lift this up a little bit. Kind of looks like a, I don't know, like a coffee ground. Not my favorite brown, but hopefully it'll work to what I want it to do. Okay, and this is the white. We're just going to kind of throw this in between here. Now we'll do the blue. You can keep the pieces chunky and big if you want, but I think there's a little bit more detail when you kind of cut it up in little chunks like that. So now we're just going to mix it up. And to make it pop, now we're going to add some gold foil to it. Don't think I need a whole sheet. You can literally do this in any color. Okay, then the fun part is just squishing it together. I don't want to roll it. I don't want to make it stretch out or anything like that. I want all those chunks. So all I'm going to do is squish all the air bubbles out. It says waiting for it all to dry. This is probably the longest part. When it starts feeling really soft, you'll know that you got pretty much all the air bubbles out. Okay, I think that should do it. I just want to make my square straight. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for a second. I'm going to grab the one we did with the acrylics. I didn't really make a great brown, did I? That looks more like a copper. So hopefully that'll look okay. So acrylic paint, obviously a lot more sticky than the alcohol ink after it dries. So it's kind of hard to separate all these. Just gonna put a little bit of orange in there. I don't know if I want to use them all. So I think in order to get some of the stickiness out of here, I'm just going to add the gold foil. That hopefully will help a little bit. just going to do a little tiny bit more on this one. Okay. And on this one, I'm just going to cut a little bit because the clumps are not breaking up. Okay, so the same thing, just gonna clump it all up. Try and get all the foil that fell everywhere. Yeah, this one's gonna be a tough one. Okay. It looks like the gold or the orange kind of turned a kind of like a rust color, so this might actually turn out pretty cool. I mean, these dried for at least 3 hours. I could have probably left it overnight, but sometimes it makes it really dry when you do. Okay, so grab the wrong one. Do the best we can here. I don't think I worked on this as long as the other one, but it's all going to be rolled anyways, so. Okay, so let me just wipe my hands here. And I have rubbing alcohol. Just one moment. Okay, so we're going to start with the alcohol ink one first. And all I'm going to do is cut some thin strips. So with the alcohol ink, you get a lot more areas. It's not as bright. I think it's a little more subtle. And I always cut an uneven amount for some reason. Well, I didn't. It just stuck to the other one. Oh well, it is what it is. So we're just going to cut this in half. It seems like that's got a lot more blue. So I'm going to put that on that side. Okay, so now you take your roller. I'm going to get it off of this tile. I like glass tables so much better because they just hold on to it a lot better. And this was washed and it was still wet. I'll keep that handy because I guarantee I'll use that. And yeah. So that turned out really pretty. I like that. So I don't know if it imitates any kind of a stone, but it has a stone look. So I am happy with that. I'd like to get it a little thinner because I want to dome those wood pieces with resin. So I want to leave a little bit of a space in there. So this might still be too thick. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. Now we're going to cut into, this is the acrylic. Well, that's really interesting. Usually the alcohol inks are a little more subtle. But on this, as you can see, the acrylic is a little more subtle. Okay, I'll put that right there. That's a little high, but just gonna set both of those in there. With this, you don't have to worry about being perfect. That was deli paper. Okay, so this is this one. That's the one with the acrylic. Obviously, the only difference we did use was we used orange in this, but I just love the way, I don't know, I just love the way those came out. This is still pretty, but I really like the alcohol inks. I think that's going to be my new way of doing these. Okay, and I'm going to roll this one at a 2, and then a 3, 4, and 5. And there's a piece that does not want to stay together, so we're just going to take that one completely off. And I think a 5 is about as thin as I want it. Okay, and I think this one might already be there. Okay, it wasn't. So that kind of stretched that one out a little bit. Okay, so now, I didn't realize when I bought these that they're different sizes. That's how long ago it was that I placed an order for these. All a little knotted up. So I'm going to see if I can grab one. It's a wheat one. Okay, let me unknot these. I'll be right back. Okay, well, I managed to get a couple apart. There's still about 4 of them that I don't want to mess with anymore. So I've got the chocolate brown one, which I think looks good with that one. And I'm going to do the light one with this one. But I'm going to do a heart with this one. Okay, so now, this was the cutter I made today. And actually, this is still big. I didn't realize that all of these are different sizes. So when I measured one, I should have measured more than one. But I have some regular circle cutters. That's a little big. And I think I already tried that one. That's small. Okay, so I might have to really quick make one more cutter because these are a little bit too small. So I will be right back. Okay, so we're back again with our cutters, and I'm looking at these pendants really good, and I'm not sure if this is a leather cord or like a wax cotton, but there looks like there's a coating on them, so I'm not going to put the clay inside and bake. I am just going to bake, and then we'll insert it at the end. So I made a couple cutters. This is just a little under an inch. So I'm going to do the blue first, and I think all we're going to do is just cut out one circle for each one. I think I'm going to use the rest of this for some earrings. I don't know, I've got this at a number 5. That's kind of thin for earrings, so I may have to fold it and try running it on a number 3. Okay, so I think this is the one I wanted. So there's just going to be a slight, just a slight gap in it, which would be okay because the resin can go through there. So now I just got to find that perfect spot. And I'd love to get all the colors. Kind of like that right there. Okay, so just to see what it's going to look like. So that's what it'll look like when it's done, although this will probably sit a little more. All right, now I just got to get it out without destroying it. Since I've got a little bit of play, I'm going to see if I can enlarge that just a little bit. Still a little small, but we are going to go ahead and bake it at that. And then I might go just a little bigger, which is going to be a 1 inch. And I know that this one's going to be a little big, but I can shave this one down. Yeah, I'm going to like that one. That one's going to be perfect. Okay, so we're going to throw this on a tile. And we're going to bake it. And then when we're done, we'll come back and we'll show you how we insert it. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hi guys, I thought I would close the video with showing you the finished products. I have not unknotted a lot of the cords, so some of these aren't going to fit, unfortunately. But there's one. It's already sanded and buffed. It fits in there beautifully. I think a little bit of glue will help. And I think on this one, I'm going to put resin on the top very carefully so that it gets in the holes but doesn't get all over the wood. This was another one. This is one that sticks out. And I have a feeling it's going to fit in a different one, but okay. So you have a cab like that. This one's been buffed. And the same with this. But my favorite, I think, is a mistake that I made. Or I didn't make it as a mistake. It was a different color. But when I put it in there, it looked like it was a landscape scene, which was pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it, but I see like bushes with flowers, yellow and orange. I see a stream, the white, the waterfall, and you got like a part of a tree. You're not seeing the branch, but you're just seeing the leaves over it. So I really love this one. And this one I didn't want to put resin on it because it seemed to change it. If I put water on it, you'll see, but I don't know. It just, I didn't like it shiny. And I usually love everything shiny. So those are what I made last night. And I think my tutorial was with this color. So, you know, you can do all kinds of stuff with these. And maybe you'll find that little landscape scene in one of your products. So these were almost all of the beads that I made yesterday from them. I have not resined them yet. They will be resined because they're really, really thin. And because they're thin, they're a little flimsy. So I've got them all sanded, ready to go. And then these are ones that I made before that. This was just a different color combo. And easy way to make a bracelet or a necklace, I'm sorry, a pair of earrings, is a bunch of pinch bails. So these are a bunch of pinch bails. You can get them anywhere on Amazon. I'd give you a source, but there's just so many. You've got 20 millimeter ones. I think these are a little smaller. There's all kinds of different sizes, and of course I'm using my fingers to open them up. So you got long ones, medium ones, and you even got really small ones. And on these, it's just so easy. I gotta get smaller ones in brass. Yeah, I know, they're really easy, but I'm not making it look easy, am I? You know, so you can use a jump ring, or you can finish it with a pinch bail. You can use gold on this as well. The only thing I hate about gold is they're just really gold. And so I don't really like using just plated gold. But I can't afford the 14 karat, so... Okay, so the gold will really look good with those. And then on the blue and orange ones that I did, I know you're not going to really see how they look. I don't think I got any holes on this one. But this one I'll probably finish up with the silver, since I used the silver foil. I don't have holes, so I can't really play with those. But that's basically how easy that was, and how much jewelry that I can get out of this. So it's kind of cool. So I'm going to go and finish resining everything. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I know it was kind of out there, but I appreciate you sticking with me, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.